So our Uncle Mike, who worked for the embassy, as a favor to Dad paid for a 5-week study program. Uncle Mike threw in a letter of recommendation to be kind, even though he'd only met Meghan when she was a baby. And so, well, a 5-week study program that doesn't equate with working at the embassy.
Have you discussed it with your father, Thomas?
Yeah, he said the same thing. I don't believe, and he doesn't believe, that there are kids, because you don't yank around and use alleged children as pawns.
Samantha alleged that Meghan defamed her when Meghan did an interview with Oprah, letting the crowd know that Meghan does not really have a close relationship with Samantha.
For years, nearly a decade now, Samantha Markle existed not as a person, but as a caricature. The jealous half-sister, the inconvenient relative, the cautionary footnote in Meghan Markle's meticulously curated rise from Hollywood actress to Duchess of Sussex. The media machinery, both British and American, painted her as someone to be ignored, dismissed, even ridiculed. Her voice was relegated to the margins, labeled unreliable before she even spoke. Whenever she surfaced with questions about timelines, about birthdays, about inconsistencies in the official narrative, she was swiftly branded as bitter, resentful, or opportunistic. No effort was made to verify her claims. Instead, her character was attacked, her motives questioned, her credibility dismantled with practiced efficiency. After all, in a world hungry for fairy tales, a skeptical sister is a narrative threat. Yet, beneath the noise of public scorn, Samantha never wavered. She didn't pivot her story to suit the headlines. She didn't soften her tone for television audiences or craft tearful appeals for sympathy. She simply repeated what she remembered, details anchored in lived experience, not speculation. She recalled birthdays that didn't match the public record. She noted age gaps between siblings that had been quietly erased. She remembered life events, a move, a school year, a family milestone that no longer aligned with the timeline Meghan presented once she entered the global spotlight. These weren't dramatic accusations. They were observational, almost mundane, but they were persistent. And persistence, when rooted in truth, has a way of outlasting even the most polished public relations campaigns. What made Samantha's voice uniquely unsettling wasn't rage, it was restraint. She didn't ask the world to believe her on faith. She asked people to look, to examine, to consider why certain dates had shifted, why childhood anecdotes placed Meghan in 2 different places at once, why career milestones seemed oddly compressed or delayed depending on the interview. In an era where public figures perform vulnerability for engagement, Samantha refused to perform at all. She offered no sound bites, no emotional outbursts, no viral moments. She simply stood by a version of reality that no one wanted to acknowledge, because acknowledging it would mean admitting that the story they'd all been sold might be, at its core, constructed. For a long time, that was enough to keep her sidelined. But then, something shifted. Thomas Markle, Meghan's father, a man repeatedly portrayed as estranged, unreliable, or even villainous, began to echo Samantha's account. His statements weren't grand or theatrical. They were quiet, confused, and deeply human. "I love both my daughters," he said during one of his rare media appearances. Then, almost as an afterthought, he added the line that quietly detonated the foundation of Meghan's official biography: "She's telling lies." Not dramatic lies, not scandalous lies, timeline lies. He confirmed that Meghan was 21 in 1997, the same detail Samantha had cited for years. He remembered the same discrepancies, the mismatched ages, the altered milestones, the quiet erasure of years that didn't fit the image being crafted. Suddenly, Samantha's claims were no longer the isolated grievances of a sideline sibling. They were corroborated by the one person whose memory carried inherent weight: a parent. Parents remember the unglamorous truths: the year their child started kindergarten, how old they were during a cross-country move, which birthday cake they cried over. Thomas didn't speak from bitterness, he spoke from bewilderment. He couldn't reconcile the daughter the world celebrated with the daughter he raised. And that confusion, so raw, so understated, was more damning than any accusation. This convergence of memory, sister and father, independently recalling the same inconsistencies, transformed the conversation. It was no longer about interpersonal drama. It became an investigation into narrative integrity. At the heart of it lay a single, stubborn piece of evidence: the March 1997 issue of 17 magazine. On page 90, buried among listings of young hopefuls, appears the name Meghan Markle, 21. There's no fanfare, no photo, no interview, just a name and an age printed in ink long before Meghan became a global figure. If her official birth date is August 4, 1981, she would have been 15 at the time. The gap, 6 full years, is not a typo. It's a chasm, and it's documented in a source with no reason to lie, no incentive to manipulate, and no awareness that this young woman would one day marry into the British royal family. Supporters of the official narrative point to other records, biographies, interviews, even Meghan's own memoir that cite 1981 as her birth year. Samantha herself has, at times, appeared to confirm the 17-year age difference that would align with a 1981 birth. But context matters. Family members, especially estranged or pressured by media scrutiny, may echo official lines to avoid further controversy, even if they privately remember differently. What cannot be so easily dismissed is the pre-fame documentary evidence. The 17 magazine listing exists independently of palace protocols, PR teams, or Hollywood optics. It was created when Meghan was an unknown, auditioning for bit parts, with no global brand to protect. In that moment, there was nothing to gain by inflating her age, and everything to lose if she were caught lying. Yet the record stands, 21 in 1997. That points squarely to a birth year of 1975 or 1976. If true, this recontextualizes everything. Meghan didn't enter Hollywood as a fresh-faced ingenue in her early 20s. She was a woman approaching 30 in an industry that fetishizes youth and discards women over 35. Her career trajectory, slow to ignite, marked by years of minor roles and waitressing gigs, makes far more sense under this timeline. The urgency to reinvent herself, to pivot from actress to activist, to leverage relationships for access, it all aligns with the pressures faced by an older woman in a youth-obsessed ecosystem. This isn't about vanity, it's about survival. And in show business, and later in royal circles, image is currency. A 6-year age adjustment isn't cosmetic, it's strategic. It reshapes perception, alters expectations, and opens doors that might otherwise remain closed. But the implications extend far beyond career optics. They become medically and institutionally significant when Meghan's pregnancies are considered. If she was born in 1981, she was 37 when pregnant with Archie, classified as an advanced maternal age pregnancy, which warrants closer monitoring. But if she was born in 1975 or 1976, she was 42 or 43. That places her firmly in the high-risk category, where protocols are stricter, interventions more frequent, and postpartum observation longer. Yet, the public narrative around Archie's birth was strikingly casual. Harry described a rapid labor, 2 epidurals, delivery, recovery, and discharge, all within approximately 2 hours. Medically, this is implausible. After an epidural, sensation returns slowly. Blood pressure must stabilize. Vital signs are monitored for hours, especially in high-risk cases. Discharge within 2 hours isn't just unlikely, it's medically irresponsible. Add to that the logistics. Portland Hospital to Frogmore Cottage, a journey that, even under ideal conditions, takes nearly an hour. The story asks us to believe that labor, medical procedures, recovery, paperwork, and transportation all occurred in less time than it takes to watch a single episode of a television drama. This isn't nitpicking, it's arithmetic. And when basic arithmetic fails, so does credibility. Hospitals don't bend time. Bodies don't obey branding. When a birth story contradicts fundamental medical realities, it stops sounding authentic and begins to sound sound scripted. These inconsistencies don't exist in isolation. They form a pattern, one that clusters around moments of maximum narrative pressure: age, timing, image control, institutional expectations. One discrepancy might be a mistake, two could be coincidence, but a recurring motif of altered timelines, smoothed over histories, and curated personal details suggests something more deliberate: management. Not chaos, but control. Not error, but curation. The story of Meghan Markle begins to resemble less a life unfolding naturally and more a narrative carefully maintained, adjusted where necessary, obscured where inconvenient, reinforced where fragile. Even small details betray this effort. Take the naming of their daughter, Lilibet Diana. Meghan and Harry claimed they had the Queen's blessing. Buckingham Palace swiftly denied it. The fallout wasn't just familial, it was symbolic. In royal tradition, names carry weight, lineage, permission. To claim royal approval where none existed wasn't just a misstep, it was another instance of narrative overreach, of constructing a reality that hadn't been granted. Samantha Markle didn't create this web of contradictions, she merely pointed to the loose threads. Thomas Markle confirmed them, pre-fame documents echoed them, medical logic resisted them, and now, as more people return to those old records, 17 magazine, birth indexes, archived interviews, the official story frays at the edges. This isn't a tabloid explosion.
It's a slow, quiet unraveling, and that's what makes it so unsettling. There's no scandalous headline, no explosive leak, just a growing awareness that the foundation may be unstable. Because once a core fact like birth year is called into question, everything built atop it wobbles. Identity, career narrative, medical history, even parental rights all become shadowed by doubt. If the age was adjusted, what else was? If timelines were smoothed, what truths were buried? The royal family operates on precedent, protocol, and documented lineage. Hollywood thrives on reinvention and rebranding. Meghan Markle existed at the intersection of both, a place where truth and presentation are in constant tension. But time has a way of eroding polish. Ink fades, but pencil marks remain. And in the quiet spaces between the headlines, the truth waits. Not shouting, not demanding, just persisting. It surfaces in a 1997 magazine, in a father's weary recollection, in the cold logic of hospital discharge protocols, in the arithmetic of time and distance. It doesn't need amplification, it only needs attention. And now, after years of dismissal, the world is beginning to look, not because Samantha Markle demanded it, but because the story itself can no longer hold its shape. The illusion has cracked, and through that crack, reality is showing through. Once seen, it cannot be unseen. The truth doesn't vanish because it's inconvenient. It endures, patient, undeniable, and always, eventually, revealed.